What if your kidneys have been trying to warn you and you've been blaming something else? Foamy urine, swollen ankles, getting up several times every night just to use the bathroom, feeling exhausted, even after a full night's sleep. On their own, these symptoms can have many different causes, but when several begin showing up together, they may be pointing toward the same underlying problem. Today, we'll walk through 10 warning signs that could suggest your kidneys aren't working as efficiently as they should. Persistent foamy urine. Have you ever looked into the toilet and noticed thick foam that doesn't disappear right away? Not just a few bubbles, but foam that lingers long after you've flushed. In many cases, it's completely harmless. A fast urine stream or concentrated urine from dehydration can sometimes create bubbles that disappear quickly. But if you repeatedly notice persistent foamy urine, it's worth mentioning to your healthcare provider. One possible explanation is protein leaking into the urine. Healthy kidneys contain millions of tiny filters that remove waste while keeping important proteins inside your bloodstream. When those filters become damaged, small amounts of protein can escape into the urine. Because protein traps air easily, it can create foam, similar to how egg whites become frothy when they're whisked. Doctors often check for protein in the urine because it can sometimes be one of the earliest signs that the kidney's filtering system isn't working as it should. The interesting part is that same protein leak may also explain the next clue. Puffy eyes. Have you ever looked in the mirror first thing in the morning and wondered, why do my eyes look so puffy today? Most of us blame a poor night's sleep, seasonal allergies, or maybe a salty dinner the night before. And those are all common reasons. But if puffiness around your eyes keeps coming back, especially if it becomes part of your daily routine, your kidneys could be one possible explanation. Here's why. When protein escapes into the urine, there's less of it left in your bloodstream. Protein helps keep fluid where it belongs. So when those levels drop, fluid can move more easily into surrounding tissues. Because the skin around your eyes is especially thin, that's often one of the first places where swelling becomes noticeable. It's surprising, isn't it? A change in your kidneys showing up on your face. Which raises an interesting question. How can two completely different symptoms, foamy urine and puffy eyes, be connected by the same organ? The answer lies in what your kidneys do every second of every day. Think of them as millions of microscopic filters working around the clock. Their job isn't just to remove waste. They also keep proteins, balance water, regulate important minerals, and remove waste through your urine. When those tiny filters begin losing efficiency, the effects don't stay inside your kidneys. Instead, they start appearing throughout your body. That's why kidney problems can seem so confusing. The warning signs often show up far away from the kidneys themselves, and one of the most common places is your feet. Swollen feet or ankles. Take off your socks for a moment. Have you ever noticed deep marks around your ankles that seem to last much longer than they should? Or maybe your shoes suddenly feel tighter, even though your weight hasn't really changed. Most people blame the weather, standing too long, or simply getting older. Sometimes they're right. But your kidneys also play a major role in deciding how much fluid stays inside your body and how much leaves. Think of them as your body's water management system. Every minute, they're making thousands of tiny decisions about where that fluid should go. When that system isn't working as efficiently, excess fluid can begin collecting in your tissues. Because gravity naturally pulls fluid downward, swelling often shows up first in the feet and ankles. Some people also notice tighter rings or puffier fingers. And the next clue is one millions of people quietly accept as a normal part of aging. Waking up to urinate more often. Here's a question. How many times did you wake up to use the bathroom last night? Once? Twice? 3 times? Many people assume this is simply part of getting older. Sometimes it is. But your kidneys constantly regulate how much water leaves your body. When their filtering ability changes, your bathroom habits may change too. Some people begin urinating more often. Others notice they're producing much less urine than before. By itself, this doesn't confirm kidney disease. But together with the other clues, it's something worth paying attention to. And sometimes, one clue leads to another. Fatigue that feels different. We've all had days when we're tired. But this feels different. You wake up exhausted. You stay exhausted. And even after a full night's sleep, your energy never really comes back. Healthy kidneys don't just filter waste. They also help your body produce the hormone that supports red blood cell production. These cells carry oxygen throughout your body. If fewer are produced, less oxygen reaches your muscles and organs efficiently. At the same time, waste products that healthy kidneys normally remove can begin building up in the bloodstream. Together, these changes can leave some people feeling constantly drained, not sleepy, just unusually tired. Let's pause for a second. Notice the pattern. None of these clues actually begin where your kidneys are located. Instead, they're showing up in your urine, your eyes, your feet, your energy levels. That's because healthy kidneys quietly support many different systems throughout your body. When they begin struggling, the effects can appear in places you'd never expect. And the next clues become even more surprising. Dry, itchy skin. Here's one warning sign that surprises almost everyone. What does itchy skin have to do with your kidneys? At first glance, probably nothing. Most people assume it's dry weather, a new soap, or maybe they just need a better moisturizer. And honestly, those are much more common explanations. But your kidneys do far more than filter waste. They also help maintain the right balance of minerals and other substances circulating throughout your body. When kidney function becomes significantly impaired, that balance can begin to change. As waste products build up and mineral levels become disrupted, some people develop skin that feels unusually dry, or an itch that just doesn't seem to go away. No rash, no obvious cause, just persistent itching. By itself, itchy skin doesn't point to kidney disease. But when it appears alongside several of the clues we've already discussed, it becomes another piece of the puzzle. And speaking of symptoms that seem to come out of nowhere, the next one often happens while you're fast asleep. Muscle cramps. Imagine it's 3 o'clock in the morning. You're sleeping peacefully. Then suddenly, a sharp cramp shoots through your calf. You instantly wake up and try stretching your leg until the pain finally eases. If you've experienced this before, you know exactly how painful it can be. Occasional muscle cramps happen to almost everyone. Exercise, dehydration, or even sitting in one position for too long can trigger them. But if they're becoming frequent, your kidneys may be one possible reason. Healthy kidneys constantly regulate important electrolytes like sodium, potassium, calcium, and magnesium. These minerals help your muscles contract and relax exactly when they're supposed to. When that balance becomes disrupted, muscle cramps can become more common. Again, this doesn't automatically mean there's a kidney problem, but if frequent cramps are happening alongside swelling, changes in urination, or constant fatigue, it's another clue worth paying attention to. And the next clue is much quieter. In fact, many people don't notice it until someone else points it out. Losing your appetite. Imagine sitting down to your favorite meal, something you've always enjoyed. You take a few bites, then suddenly, you don't feel like eating anymore. You're not nauseous. Your stomach doesn't hurt. You're just not hungry. Most people blame stress, a busy schedule, or simply getting older. But as kidney function becomes more significantly impaired, waste products can gradually build up in the bloodstream. For some people, this can reduce appetite. Others notice that food simply doesn't taste the way it used to. This usually isn't one of the earliest warning signs. Instead, it's more commonly seen as kidney disease becomes more advanced. That's why it's important not to focus on just one symptom. The real story begins to appear when several clues start fitting together. All these symptoms seem completely unrelated. But now you know something most people don't. They can all be connected by one organ that's quietly working behind the scenes every second of every day. That's exactly why kidney disease is often called a silent disease. It doesn't usually arrive with one dramatic warning sign. Instead, it leaves a trail of small clues, sometimes over months or even years. And the final two clues are among the most important of all. One clue you should never ignore: blood in your urine. Unlike many of the clues we've talked about so far, this one usually gets your attention immediately. If you ever notice your urine looking pink, red, or even dark brown, don't assume it will simply go away. Healthy kidneys normally keep blood cells exactly where they belong, inside your bloodstream. So when blood begins appearing in your urine, it's your body's way of telling you that something needs attention. Now, it's important to remember, blood in the urine doesn't automatically mean kidney disease. It can also be caused by urinary tract infections, kidney stones, certain medications, or other medical conditions. But regardless of the cause, it's never something you should ignore. Your urine can reveal a surprising amount about what's happening inside your body, and when blood appears, it's a signal that deserves prompt medical evaluation, which brings us to the final clue. The final clue: A noticeable change in urine output. By now, you've probably realized something. Kidney problems rarely announce themselves with one dramatic symptom. Instead, they leave behind a trail of small clues. And one of the final clues is a noticeable change in how much urine your body produces. Maybe you're urinating much less than you normally do, or perhaps you're producing much more than usual. There are plenty of everyday reasons this can happen. The weather, how much water you've had to drink, exercise, even certain medications. But your kidneys are constantly making tiny adjustments to keep the right amount of fluid inside your body. When they begin struggling, that balance can gradually change. By itself, a change in urine output doesn't tell the whole story. But if it happens together with persistent foamy urine, recurring puffiness around your eyes, swollen ankles, frequent nighttime urination, or ongoing fatigue, it's another clue that's worth discussing with your healthcare provider. Because by now, you've seen the pattern. Final takeaway. Let's step back and look at the bigger picture. Today's video wasn't about diagnosing kidney disease. It was about learning to recognize the subtle clues your body may be giving you. Your kidneys work quietly behind the scenes, filtering your blood, balancing fluids, regulating minerals, and supporting many of the systems you depend on every single day. The remarkable thing is that they can continue working for a long time, even as their function gradually declines. That's why the warning signs often seem so unrelated. Individually, each of these symptoms can have many different causes. But when several begin appearing together, or they persist instead of improving, they're worth paying attention to. Listening to your body doesn't mean assuming the worst. It means recognizing when something has changed and knowing when it's time to seek medical advice. The earlier problems are identified, the more opportunities there may be to understand the cause and receive appropriate treatment. If you found this video helpful, share it with someone you care about. You never know who might recognize one of these clues in themselves or in someone they love. And if you enjoy evidence-based health videos that explain how your body really works, make sure to subscribe. Thank you for watching, take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video.